Hello, physics people. So today, our lab in our physics class for Miss Morrow's fourth period class was to do the Hooke's Law lab. And our primary objective was to determine the spring constant of a spring, in which the spring constant is represented in this whole experiment as K. Now, the materials we needed for this were a spring, a few masses, a few rulers, and a rod stand. Which what we were to do is that when we placed a mass on a spring, we had to measure the displacement from when the mass was placed and from when there was no mass attached to the string in which it was hanging loose towards the ground. So we were to repeat this 4 more times with different masses. Now unfortunately, we didn't have a 500-gram mass. So we only did it up to from 0 kilograms when it was staying still to 0.4 kilograms or 400 grams. So here in my table I have right here are the results of the displacements that we got from the masses. Now we also converted it to weight as well because in order to find the spring constant, we had to convert the masses of our little weights we had to convert that into weight in order to get our spring constant. So that's that, and so we pretty much just found how much the height changed when a weight was put at the bottom of it. So I graphed our results, and what we got here is that I solved the slope when we found the line of best fit, and then I calculated it to be about 32.7, and then I put it into an equation and I had it represent the variables so that our force equaled 32.7x plus 0.02. So since our spring was the blue spring and that there were different springs kind of given around the classroom, our spring was the blue one, in which our spring constant was 30 newtons per meter. And so what I decided to do is that since this was our theoretical result that we were supposed to get, we were to solve the percentage error, in which our percentage error was 9%. All right, so a few other things about the lab. Some things that could have gone wrong was that the spring could have swayed a little bit when we were measuring the overall displacement, thus altering the overall measurements of that. Also, the weights added onto the scale, it was kind of weird how we put them on because it was a tiny hook at the end of the spring. So what we did was that we had to kind of jumble all the weights at the bottom of the spring, and it was kind of like we had like 3 or 4 weights at the bottom at one time. So I think that actually could have altered the overall displacement, in that it could have made the spring sway a little bit more in one direction or make it seem that the weight was a little bit more than what it actually was. So that could have happened as well. Yeah.